I ain't gonna lie, man. That's one decision. That's one of the best decisions in my life, bro. Other than my situation I'm in right now, like being a married man with a wife and kids, I love that. But other than that, right below that is going to Howard, bro. Like that was the best fucking decision I made. Yeah, that's the best decision I made. You know what I mean? For real. Like I had a blast. I had a blast. If I can do it all over again, I'll do it the exact same way. Yeah, do the exact same way. Exact same way. A lot of people be like, oh, I would have done that. Nah, bro. I would have did everything the exact same way. But you know what though? I will say this, like as education part, like my teachers at Howard, man, they was all for everything I did. They critiqued it, but in a way where it was, it was positive and moving forward. So, even some of the wild shit I used to do, or it wasn't even was immature. It was more so like I was just having a good time. You know what I mean? And so, I really wasn't critiqued on my character. They built my character off of what I was already bringing them. So it's like I really give a lot of my credit to a lot of my artwork to teachers like Michael B. Platt, man, that rest in peace, died last year. You know what I mean? Died 2 years ago, actually, 2019. But I don't even want to say he died, bro. He transitioned because I still feel him inside me. You know what I mean? I was real close to that guy. But these guys are like my second, third, fourth, fifth daddies, man. Like they was the father figures to me. James Phillips, Akili Anderson, Alfred Smith, John Trevino. It's a lot of dudes, man. And women. Terry DeBartoleben. You know what I mean? Winnie Owens Hart, ceramics teacher. She was hard on me. You know what I mean? She was very hard on me. She was tough, bro. She was tough on me though, because she had to be. Because she was like, yo, sometimes she see I was a bull. She was like, you a bulldog. You're running people over. If they let you, I was like, yeah, you're right, I will. And I wasn't trying to get over, but I'm like, that's just my personality. Like I'll walk through you. If you don't got your footing ready, I'm still coming.
You do what somebody let you do.
Yeah. I'm like that. But now, like that's back then I was like that. Now I got way more compassion for people. I had a chip on my shoulder, man. But now, like, I'm able to get a lot of my expressions out with my art. So it's better. It's better now, I mean, I found my peace, bro. When I realized something. I got locked up in 2009 in D.C., right? And I went to this jail that, if you from D.C. or been locked up in D.C., it's called CCB, Central Cell Block. And it's like, I think it's like 10 or 20 feet underneath the ground. There's no windows. Everything is gray, and it's no bed. You laying on like a tin piece of metal. You know what I'm saying? No pillow. It's cold. It's rats. It's roaches. You know what I mean? And that shit broke me a little bit. I was like, yo, okay. And I was there for 4.5 days over the weekend. I got locked up on Thursday. Came out Monday. So yeah. So off of some dumb shit I pulled off. You know what I'm saying? Did drinking Frko Rico and shit. But anyways, that shit really introduced me to myself. I had a coach in my high school football coach, man, Reggie Perry. Always said, adversity introduced a man to himself, and that was adversity that introduced me to myself. And I could have ran. I did. I came home, man, because I had problems in my hood. My mama's house was getting broken into and shit. So I came home for a year, but I came back, Howard. You know what I mean? I didn't take a year off because I took some classes at Georgia State here, and then I just transferred back. You know what I mean? But it was adversities that needed to happen. You know what I mean? And I was buck wild here too. When I came home, I was even more wilder. The niggas would come visit me from Howard here, and they was like, "Yo, you like this everywhere." I was like, "I'm in my hometown. Of course, I'm gonna be like this shit here, man." So, but that chip really, like, the chip I had was trying to like prove myself and somebody else that I was hard, you know what I mean? Or I was like tough, because that's what I had to do growing up with brothers and niggas in my neighborhood and shit. After that, I kind of got out of it, you know what I mean? I kind of accepted who I was. I was an artist. Like, I'm an artist. I was still kind of chasing this dream that I could be something else. But I'm like, yo, this is what I am. Like, it's what I'm here to do. And so be creative and create on all levels and platforms, and be able to transition like ideas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be proud of it. So I ain't gonna lie. I got that chip off my shoulder when I was 20. which a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do. A lot of niggas I know are 32 and they still got it. So me, I humbled myself, and you know, I never really was I'm not religious or even spiritual, but I feel like that shit comes through me when it needed to come through, and it came through when I was in that jail cell, you know what I mean? And I feel like I opened my ears up, talking to an old head that was in there for drinking too much. He'd been there for a long time. Like the whole Roberto the Rat character comes from that jail stint, you know what I mean? Because it was a rat that was in there. But the real talk, it was a bunch of rats and roaches.
Time out. It was rats in the jail.
It's rats in CCB. They come out. That's how I knew it was nighttime. Because you know, you don't know. They won't tell you the time in there. You know, I was in there for 4.5 days, bro. That shit felt like a month. You know what I'm saying? Because I was throwing up. Because I was, you know, I drank like four Locos in 2 days or something like that. I was tripping. Drank a fifth of Jack Daniels and shit. I was wilding, bro. I was throwing up, had diarrhea and shit. I was fucked up. You know what I mean? And like, they like, you know, they was like, you gonna be all right, you know? I'm like, yeah, I know. I started like looking at things around me. That had nothing to do in there. You know, they don't give you nothing to read. There's no commissary in that jail. You don't do nothing in that jail. You can't do nothing. Like it's you and your thoughts in that jail. So if a rat come in, because the rats can come in. If the rat came in, the rat was another life form to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking like, you know, what the fuck? But you know, I ain't gonna lie, that experience, you know how you experience stuff and then you just don't think about it no more? That's what happened. Like I didn't come up with that character till like maybe almost 3 years after that shit happened. Cause I didn't think about it for 3 years. Cause I had nobody to talk to about it, you know? I really didn't. I wasn't proud of what I did, you know? So I kind of erased what I did out of my mind. And then also like, you know, I didn't really have, my pops didn't want to talk about it with me. My mom definitely didn't want to talk about none of that shit. I had nobody to talk to about it, you know? My brothers kind of just made fun of it. So it was like, I used my creativity to make a character that was like a conscious character, and that's Roberto the Rat, you know? And then I built like more fun stuff on top of them, you know what I mean? And then the roaches, I had roaches in there. I was feeding them bologna. I got sick off of eating the bologna. I don't eat pork. I was throwing the bologna at them and shit. They was eating it. And I just was like, you know, you bored, bro. You see a squirrel and you got peanuts, you gonna feed the squirrel peanuts. The rat's the same thing. And it was a dirty ass, fat ass rat, DC rat. And I was like, yo, but like I was pretty sure it was the same rat coming back in, bro, because I was feeding them. And I was like, it's nighttime. He's here. You know what I mean? But you know, when you in that psychosis, you feel like it's psychosis. You don't feel like it's real. And that shit was real, bro. Like that shit was real. So, but I got a lot out of that, man. So that chip fell off. I don't have that shit no more. You know, not at all. But see, that drinking inflated that chip. You know what I mean? The chip grew bigger on your shoulder because your ego was getting inflated from the drinking. And see, some people don't know how to drink. You know, the old head will tell you, oh, you don't know how to drink. It's because you're drinking, you're feeding the ego instead of feeding your spirit, you know what I mean? That's one thing I will say about Howard, man. Howard really I mean, especially, you know, I think the years after we were there, people were smoking more. But, man, that was a drinking ass campus, man. Like, we was drunk, bro. Like, on a Thursday at noon, I was drunk. Like, Thursday, I didn't give a damn if I had class or not. I was going drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I had an English class, right? My sophomore year on Thursdays in Lock Hall. And my teacher, she was a white woman in there. She was cool. She was real cool with me because she knew I was like, I'm a really good writer. I'm a really good creative writer. And she realized that with me like after like the first month. And so she was like, okay, he an artist. He's coming from fine arts. I got to know her. And I told her, you know, every time I had a teacher or a class that wasn't in fine arts, teachers are really taken back by how personal I was with them. But I said, that's how we are in fine arts, though. Y'all are people, too. You're not just my teacher. I know you're getting paid to teach, but, like, I want to know you, too, you know? Some of them didn't like that with me, but she did. So I think she knew I would be drinking in class, because I have, like, you know, you could smell vodka and gin and shit. And, you know, I used to have the water bottles. You have a water bottle filled with fucking with vodka or something, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be in the class. I had a humanities class. And it was this old woman, I forgot her name though, because like I never went to class, but she passed me. She would pass, I don't know why she passed me, bro. Like it was she passed me with an A too. I don't, to this day, I went to like maybe 10 classes. She passed me. I don't know why she fuck with me. But I don't understand why. I still don't understand why she fucked me so heavy. But I used to be in there drinking vodka and shit. And it was a late class on Thursday, and I didn't go to that class because I'd be in front of Blackburn drunk. You know what I mean? Talking shit to people. And you know me, man. I didn't pledge no Greek or nothing like that or join no club. I didn't give a shit what people thought about me, man. Real talk. You know what I mean? Long as I had, you know, I hate to say it, but as long as I had a piece of pussy lined up for the late night tip, you know what I'm saying, midday tip, I really wasn't giving a shit, bro. That's the fact of the matter. Unless I had a girl, you know, get a girl. This is my freshman, sophomore year, real talk. But I had a teacher, bro, she just was like, oh, somebody drinking in here? Dog, she looked around too. And my bottle my bottle was closed. And no one said nothing because everybody knew it was me. And I think it was like someone else drinking in there too. You know, it was a big class. This was in Douglas. It was a big ass class. And after that, I was like, damn, bro, I need to quit doing that shit. But in fine arts, we drank while we painted and shit. You know what I mean?
That's live.
Because I hope I'm not incriminating him, but because he's still there. But Professor Phillips, he used to show up with a little fifth of vodka, and then we would we would use paint cups or cut the bottom of the water bottle and take shots in the class, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We was that loose, and we did great art, man. He did great. He does great art. He's world renowned, you know.